Charity Colleen Crouse, President Charity Colleen Crouse. It is about 1 minute before 12:30 afternoon on October 21st, 2021. Apparently, there was some error, right? So let's continue. Document 25, filed on September 29, 2021. Affidavit of incident pertaining to jurisdiction of proceeding. This concerns report regarding incident at DFW DART Station on September 28, 2021. This was filed the next day. As you can see, this is the motion submitted that next day to the court, printed out. Very important. Until this time, no one responded, including the police. The police were contacted on site at the airport the night before. I told them to identify what I was talking about through the video camera that had the police indicated right above. There is another printout of this. I made sure to print more than one in case I needed to have another one. What did I say? This right here is an application for legal representation that I filed with the Legal Aid Clinic at the SMU Dedman School of Law, Civil Clinic, specific to the alleged eviction proceeding. This is the photocopy of the original application that they kept. At some point in time, they ended up sending a response in the mail. They did not alert me. They did not alert me via email. I don't believe I was supposed to know about it. They alerted me by email the day after it arrived in the mail at the other residence. Presumably, they could not provide me with assistance. That's what they said. You know what that means? They had absolutely no entitlement to any sort of claim. This here is the application, the original, from the school of law. I went there immediately after they forced me outside and put me into the car. As you can see, this has to do with a note I made when I followed up on this, right? And this note was December 5th, 2021 at 11:29 a.m., right? Then this. There is camera feed for the Dallas Police Department identifying a number of pieces of evidence I found on dates in my case, timelines on my case. Regarding what? One could say chemical weapons disposal, right? I ended up keeping some of these as evidence. I still have them on as evidence. They've been entered into evidence. There should be camera feed from the DART station where I put this in front of the camera and told them to contact the DEA. This right here, you can see the shadowed areas. These are areas that are particular to work I did while I was inside regarding a review of contract law. These are my verbal notes that were transcribed in the written form regarding review of contract law, including in connection with the matters pertaining to when I first came to Texas, and that were referenced in the legal filings I filed before the Texas Supreme Court, as well as the Southern District of Texas U.S. District Court, as well as the Northern District of Texas U.S. District Court. You know, this one was originally July 11th, 2021. Okay, and then I resumed. I continued going. Number of these. This is also before July 11th. Some of these notes go all the way back to 2019. Began doing that specific kind of review earlier, including before I left Houston, but I had more comprehensive resources once I got to Dallas that I could work with outside of what was already there. This is something that I printed out specific in connection with the allegations in the case. This is the indication of the day I printed it out. These records have since been tampered with in the stolen thumb drives that were stolen at the library. This here is notes regarding my review of Texas legislation that is unconstitutional and was the topic of the subject of my case, the arguments in my case regarding the Texas State Senate and the charges against the Texas State Senate, including the request for articles of impeachment. These are all notes regarding various things the state of Texas has done, including going all the way back to 2017, and then later, review of laws that were implemented in 2005, as well as in 2001. This focuses primarily on 2017 through 2019. Now, these were done before the first special session of 2021, but then were followed up on during the special session of 2021, as well as following the special session of 2021, before the special session of 2023, by the way. These are all of my verbal notes that they've been transcribed, and these have also been put into another written form in other places. This is something I did real time in order to demonstrate what I understand was going on. I was reading a case while I was also watching/listening to a video of a speech by a presentation by former Justice Antonin Scalia. The case I was reviewing at the time was Ohio versus Roberts. And then I have information on the specific URL, which identified the speech that Scalia was given. As you can see at various points, including here, I indicate the time in the video and what Scalia was saying concurrent to my review of the case as a way to demonstrate exactly what I understand they're doing with so-called derivative litigation, including when they say that the case has been dismissed or denied when it hasn't, and what they're doing is using it for financing or some form of insurance or some other kind of legal proceeding that they are engaging. This is part of what makes it illegal. It's not a crypto. It's not a digital currency. It was supposed to be due process. And as you can see, this was sent on October 16, 2021, but the review took a substantial amount of time. These are my notes real time while I was online, including citations from the case itself that I was reviewing in written form, and my commentary on how it specifically pertained to my case. And then there, in places like this, whereas at the same time, in the background playing was the video where Scalia was discussing various issues that were put before him, and I indicate where he discusses those issues. It correlated with my review of the case. This happens frequently. As you can see the first time, this is when the video ended, and at this time I indicated it. Then I resumed, and then I resumed the completion of the continued following reading of the case, Ohio versus Roberts, and I continued with my notes even after it had ended. Continued following this forward. I indicate the specific case and the time that I finished that review at this period of time, and then I gave the digital signature. This was printed out on December 20th, 2021, but it was sent on October 26th, 2021. That would be the anniversary that's going to be 5 days from today. What's this discussing? I filed a motion for a plan of discovery. What happened to that motion? This is me reviewing, indicating in the course of things that I was corresponding with myself about in the follow-up to that specific email. That's the last email you can see in the sequence. These are the indications in connection with, including talking about specific rules of procedure that came up in the course of me actually following through on my request for a motion for discovery. As you can see, what is the date? You see the date? You see the time? Continuing on, this is actually my review. This is actually what would have been considered in the course of that time period regarding motion discovery. You see this? But it continues. You see this? And it continues. You see that? You see that? And finally, here you go. 5:17 p.m., October 22nd, 2021. That's tomorrow. On another timeline, tomorrow is day 71. October 23rd is day 72. What do I say here? Level of discovery? What's level of discovery? Well, here's the problem, right here. Why would this matter? Why would this matter? Why would this matter? You can see there, digital signature. That would be in connection with the plan of discovery. What's this? Transcript. transcript order form. Who was the burden of obtaining that transcript on? Not me. Now, for the record, I'm stopping right here. Why? What's the date? Do you see that? Do you see that? And you know now exactly what this shows. You should have already responded. It is now 12:40 p.m. Central Standard Time on October 21st, 2023.